What's up, YouTube? Um, this video is something I've been thinking about for the last few weeks, and a lot of times with my videos they're generally coming from things that I've been stressing about or worried about, not worried about, but thinking about for a while. And I do a lot of talking to myself. I don't know about you guys or the next person, but um, when it comes to me, I have a lot of conversations with myself about things that I'm concerned about, and I don't I don't know how much more I could put up with, man, with this all cop stuff. Like, and specifically what I mean by all cops is when people start going into detailing the flaws of today's police and the flaws of just society in general by basically in condoning this shit. You know, it's always prefaced with this, well, not all cops, or even if it isn't prefaced with it, it's said afterwards, well, even though I said all this, I still don't think all cops are XYZ. So it comes to a point with me, man, where I'm like, I don't really care about trying to single out who is supposedly a good cop and who supposedly isn't, because if you are an individual who is out vocally fighting against this thing called police brutality, which, and you're a police officer, which everyone who pretty much opens their mouth about it now it's going viral. So I already know if you're a police officer and you're talking about the ills of your locker room, basically your police locker room where you go in and you change into uniform or however you guys do it or whatever, and that those motherfuckers sitting 3 feet away from you are racist pieces of shit. Now let's just cut all the crap. Let's just cut all of it. You know that those people are pieces of shit. You know that those people will go out and willfully, happily destroy a black person, Mexican person, Puerto Rican person's life. You know this. You know that the person sitting right beside them, if they're with them, will lie for them. You know this shit, yo. You know this beyond a shadow of a doubt. It's not even up for debate anymore. Whether these cops know whether all of the officers are doing wrong and you can't punish them all and you can't this and you can't that. But when it comes to everyone else, and I'm tired of saying that shit, when it comes to everyone else, they can get punished. If my cousin decides to rob a store and I'm standing outside smoking a cigarette, I have no idea what this fucking lunatic decided to do, and he went and did it anyway, I can go to prison. I can be ripped away from my family and going to prison for this shit, man. Like, that's not fair, man. And the whole kicker to all of this shit is, whenever it's brought up, all white people can do is deflect, 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 deflect. I don't care that Alex is your friend and he's a cop. I don't care that Jeremy is your friend and he's a cop. He's a piece of fucking shit. Do you not know that the FBI came out and stated like 4 or 5 years ago that more than that now. It's been probably a decade now that the police are, and they said this a decade ago, that the police officers, the police profession, and not just that, because I tie it into government jobs, and I'll tell you why. But it says the police profession has been successfully infiltrated by racists, by white supremacist and racist groups. It's been successfully infiltrated. So that means you're only seeing the product of that infiltration. Like right now, if someone, let's take this to to one of my favorite comics, and we take this to Marvel. Okay, and we start talking about the Avengers, okay? And we start talking about Hydra. Hail Hydra, remember that shit? Okay? And Hydra started taking over. Well, what happened decade after decade, year after year? More and more and more and more and more people became Hydra instead of what they were claiming to be. They were claiming to be S.H.I.E.L.D., but they were really Hydra. Why? Because Hydra had taken over years ago. So if you keep that mentality in place, that these people were infiltrating these police departments, and they've been doing it long since some motherfucking 2006. But we'll just go with that. Okay, we'll just go with that because that's what documented. So since we'll go with that, that's 10 years, bro. 10 years, man. Brothers and sisters, that's 10 years of these people infiltrating this community, and my community, your community, her community, and under the guise of being a peaceful, upright citizen and stand-up guy who's here just to help and protect people, and the whole time you're a fucking racist piece of shit who wanted this job for the sole purpose of destroying black people and getting off on destroying black people. You want to be able to tell a black man, hey, look, I'll let you go if you do the nay-nay. Like, yo, that's the most insulting, fucking disrespectful shit I have ever heard or seen in my motherfucking life, yo. Like, yo, you gonna tell another grown man, if he does the nay-nay, you'll let whatever his little charge is go. If he stands here and whip nay-nays in front of you. Like, yo, man, pieces of shit. And the reason I made this video is because there is no such thing as a good cop. I do not want to hear that shit anymore. Because you are either helping them or you're extremely too ignorant to have that kind of job. Because if you're claiming you don't know and you can't pinpoint and you can't say, hey, this guy did this or that girl cop did this or whatever the hell happened, like, you mean to tell me you are that void of understanding and knowing that some people may take this job to abuse the power, so you're not even going to look around to see who may do that? Who may be out here? When police take advantage of their power, people die. People get hurt, man. People's lives are never the same. Children wake up one day wondering for years and decades, why did their father have to leave? Or why did their father have... Like, all behind this shit, man. Don't ever say that shit in front of me again to whoever watches this video and knows me and sees me. Don't fucking say good cop to me. Don't say good cop to me. And the only good cop that I'll ever appreciate is the one I see on news, on social media, who's shooting at and taking down these bad cops. Then I'll respect that individual as a good cop. I will not respect, because I don't respect the profession. I'm sorry. I don't respect the profession because, first of all, the people who do it, something as serious as being in charge of people's lives is something that you should really, really, really pay attention to and that you should really dedicate yourself to. That's why even something as small as being a coach, let's say a Little League coach, that's something you should take serious because you're affecting people's lives. You can have a negative effect on someone that lasts for generations or lasts for 10 years or 20 years. So it's like that type of job. It's serious, man. You should know the ins and outs of law. You should know the law just as well as a judge, because what if he's a Hydra? Hail Hydra. What if he's a rogue? How would you know that? Bailiffs, deputies, how would you know that? You wouldn't know that because you have no fucking clue what the law is. You have no fucking willingness or inclination to even try to know. Because you're American. And I grew up here too, and that's why I can say it. Because you were taught to be stupid. You were taught that, hey, these guys over here protect. These guys over here make rules. These guys over here, like, yo, like, this life is not that cut and dry, man. You can't look at life like that. You can't look at life in that cut and dry. Well, these people are the good people and these people. What the fuck, man? And you still have grown people who look at this today. That's why they always preface their comments. Well, not all cops, or they'll say it after, because all cops, no, man, either they are or they aren't. You cannot sit here and tell me that all soldiers who went in and killed innocent, unarmed civilians in some territory or some battlefield, well, all of them weren't bad. Well, which ones fucking stopped and stood up to the shit and said stop it? None of them, then they're all fucking bad.